Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a video that is a little bit of a community created video. So, at the end of Act 7, you're presented yourself with a nice little rank up gem crystal, which is this one right here, 6-star rank up 3 to 4. Now, you don't get to choose which rank 4 6-star you have. So what we're doing in this video, which is partly what are the best rank 4 unawakened champions, so we'll try and find out which one's the best ones, but also this serves the purpose of, in general, which are some of the best unawakened champions to rank up. So I think it's kind of like a double narrative type video, so yeah, let's have a look at this. And just so you know, this isn't all like me kind of like putting my agenda on you as to like which ones I personally believe are the best. There are some ones I do agree with and ones that I kind of personally will talk about that I think are the best. But what I decide to do with a lot of my videos ongoing, when I'm creating these like top 5 type videos or kind of like best champions videos, I will get the input from you as a community. And shout out to everybody that participated nearly a week ago on the ideas of like some of the best unawakened champions. We had so many suggestions which will form the basis of a vote, which will create who are, based on community feedback, the best champions, best top 10 or top 11 and top 5 champions to rank up who are unawakened. And no, Groot, Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Fist and Jake Paul are not in the list. So taking into consideration everybody's feedback, information, and as well the volume, because it wasn't just like one comment with one particular champion. In some cases, people were putting 5, 7, 8, even like multiple suggestions, full breakdowns. So what I've done, I may make this spreadsheet available. I don't really know because it's not completed yet, but I wanted to get the idea of volume so we could start creating this video. Now, of course, I wouldn't be doing my job if there wasn't any kind of like kickback and criticism. So there's a few points to mention, which I've put in the description down below, and that is just that sometimes there's going to be some champions which I don't really have to describe it, like are beyond god tier, right? And what you're essentially doing is you're ranking them up to rank 4 and going, right, well, I'm gonna basically turn this into a celestial tier, which is going to be just ridiculously powerful, and going like, right, well, I'm going to make my Guillotine 2099, my Cosmic Ghost Rider, my Ghost, and many others just more powerful than they need to be. And it could be a wasted rank up gem on something that could be like, I don't know, more advantageous. Like you could be going, oh, well, if it's a rank 4 gem, for example, if we take that portion of this portion of the video, you might be going, well, this might be better saved on champions that would benefit more from being a rank 4 and still kind of like helpful to your team, like White Magneto, for example, and more other examples than that, like Apocalypse, with the extra damage that you would do with the ticks of the debuff damage. If you didn't have Suicide Masteries or didn't want to run them, then that would be kind of good as well. And there's lots of these variables that you could be kind of like considering. There's also other champions you could be considering, like Odin, for example, or Overseer. 2 champions that would really kind of like be good from a beneficial standpoint of being rank 4, because they get that extra bump of damage, which makes them quite, again, a little bit more enjoyable from the damage numbers you will see, whether or not you see an increase in debuff numbers, or whether or not you see a kind of increase in things like critical damage or fury damage or anything else. And also factors into the utility element. There's also that extra argument, again, another little kickback from what I was seeing in some of the various comments, and I do agree with this, is that maybe if you are using your rank up gem for the first time, because another criticism was that some people were like, right, well, if you've got an awakened, when it's better to be focusing on a 6-star that's awakened. And here's just the thing, a lot of people are going through Act 7 very, very quickly, and some people are getting up to a point of having, say, their first ever rank for 6-star opportunity. Same thing with those that have rank 3 opportunities for the first time, and you need to make that decision of like who you're using it on. And so, if you don't have an awakened version of a champion, I have to assume that you watching this video have it. So you don't have an awakened champion, you don't have an awakened champion, you only got unawakened. Well, that's good. This video has served purpose for you. If you've got an awakened Iron Fist, then chances are you're not going to use your awakening gem on your Iron Fist. You're going to be waiting for something with a bit more punch, a bit more utility, a little bit of violence, speed and momentum and all that stuff, that is going to be enjoyable to you. So a lot of the times, like, you have to make your own decisions about the best course of action, and sometimes you may not have the availability other people have to specific types of champions. So there's a few things I've just got to like mention as you know, as I said, I just kind of like cover the criticism right now on that particular subject. Okay, let's get down to business on this one. And this wasn't the easiest of top 9 or whatever to kind of like do because of the amount of repeated vote volumes. So I mean, you can get an idea on screen right now. Like equal 9th is Kitty Pryde and Kingpin. There is a 10th one, but it's just the problem is a lot of them voted like a lot of volume of 4, so it's just like there's going to be like a ton there, and it just after a while saying 10 physical champions isn't technically 10 physical champions. You'll understand what I mean when we get to the top 5. But the ones that slightly missed out were Shang-Chi, Guillotine 2099, Hitmonkey, Null, Kitty Pryde, and Kingpin. All fantastic. A little bit of mixture between working really well with Suicide Masteries and being effective in different ways of kind of like shrugging off debuffs. Just great interaction, great damage, and stuff like that. And great options. They're great options for unawakened rank ups, whether it's rank 3 or rank 4. So yeah, they're fantastic suggestions for whatever needs that you might have. But let's go over the top 5. So I wanted to be as fair as possible to this because we had replications of volume of 9 votes. Mole Man, which is a fantastic champion, great with Suicide Masteries, amazing damage, shock immunity, true accuracy, you name it, this champion's got it in like spades, and a lot of people will rank up Mole Man nowadays. So yeah, that's a solid option. Equal 5th is Human Torch, like insane incinerate damage, great against Mystic champions, suppresses so many different things when it comes to abilities. Like if you got the pre-fight on, then that again is just like fantastic. There's so many things. Cold snap immunity, incinerate immunity, frostbite immunity. I use them all the time for different things, whether or not I'm suppressing regen, suppressing Mystic champions, going up against champions that I think are like evade, like you name it, like the champion is used so much for it. Also equal 5th is Hercules. This is where my Hercules would be if I had one. Damn, one day. But yeah, like a solid champion, great damage, and that's just really it. There's so much more that could be mentioned, but that's, as I said, that's what the top 5 is going to be like. There's going to be like double repetitions, but I didn't want to take away from the efficiency of going, look, equal 9 votes for 3 champions and going only one of them gets to be like top 5. It's like, ugh, just done well like that. So yeah, like Hercules, Human Torch, Mole Man, that's number 5. At number 4 with 12 votes, and that's Warlock. Warlock is a fantastic champion. Great with Suicide Masteries, power control, shock damage, bleed damage, got an armor buff, regeneration, loads of immunities to things. Like, it's just such a solid champion, and it's just a great option for an unawakened rank up. Great synergies with Vision, Age of Ultron, any kind of Vision. When you get hit by a debuff you're immune to, you get a Fury buff, being an option in the counter for Act 6.2.2, I want to say. Mr. Sinister. Great synergy with Guillotine 2099. God, just fantastic. One of my favorites actually is Warlock. In an equal 3rd is Black Widow Clairvoyant. Black Widow Clairvoyant, I mean, I've got an awakened version right there. I've got an unawakened version right there as well. Great with Suicide Masteries, regeneration off of the SP2 whilst in your kind of bleed curse mode. Power steal, so there's an element of power control to that poison curse. Incinerate damage, incinerate immunity, poison immunity, bleed immunity. There's so much for this champion. Great synergies as well. Some stuff with Human Torch, a little bit of slow debuff kind of interaction. Like, just great. Like a really solid champion and a really decent option if you're looking to rank up an unawakened champion to rank 3 as a 6-star, 6-star in general, rank 2, and even like the rank 4 as we mentioned. The other equal 3rd champion is Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is again like a gigantic damage dealer, huge debuff damage that can be dealt, easy rotations to go from like coming out of an SP3, ending a 5-hit combo in a light attack, getting a power gain buff, rotating around like another SP3, doing amazing damage. power control slightly with I think it's Innovate, Incinerate damage, armor break, vigilance. You know, it even says that, like, you know, bleed immunity, incinerate immunity. Like, there's so much going on for this champion. Great with suicide masteries. So there's a lot of boxes ticked, and that's the big thing I think we will see from this top 5 is ticking boxes for players in different areas. And when you tick like out of 10 boxes, like 8, that's a solid champion to make a decision on, especially if it is Unawakened. In at number 2 is Apocalypse. Apocalypse got 20 votes, and at times when I was doing the tally system for this, it was a case like he was like on top of Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom was like below. That's a sandwich you don't want to think about in your mind, but yeah, Apocalypse. Wow, you know, what can you kind of like say about this except for amazing immunities, dealing with evade-based champions, huge debuff damage, especially the higher you go with the champion, weakness, poison, concussion, shrugs off or kind of goes immune to incinerates and also disorients, like awakens, not awakens, but kind of like that kind of makes any mutant champion a stronger version of themselves with the Horseman synergy. Loads of cool synergies as well with it. Archangel is just, I mean, any mutant's kind of like unlocked with it, but there's some within the synergy group that just become like, just, I don't know, just beyond god tier. I mean, look at what it does to Cable. And like people were sitting on Cable for a good part of like, what, 3 years or so before this champion just like unlocked everything for them. There's probably so much more I'm missing when it comes to like Apocalypse, prowess as well, and the genetic code. One of my favourite champions, definitely a champion I'm going to be considering to rank up. I personally do like the Awakened ability, but I think I've done a video on that one. If I haven't, maybe I will do it. But yeah, like a great solid option to have in your team and doing some amazing debuff damage. You know, Distract is handy for, I don't think, maybe Whittled Down. I can't remember. That I know there's some recently I used him for. I think I said great with Suicide Masteries. God, what a champion, eh? And that, of course, is going to leave a champion that everybody loves, everybody uses in some sort of capacity, and that is Dr. Doom. So with Dr. Doom, he has amazing stagger, like nullification, incinerate damage, damage in general, SP3 rotations, gaining power gain, gaining power gain from enemies getting power gain buffs, kind of like taking that for himself. Controls the battle so much. Like SP1 rotations of power control is invaluable. It's like it's so important and so valuable for that. Yes, the awakened ability and the awakened champion does give the prestige, but the extent of like control this champion gets is just fantastic. You put on Mr. Fantastic with the champion, you get armor break, which is so important to unlock the champion for different types of usage. Great for kind of like improving the team when it comes to attack rating for each knocked out team member, so he kind of like just gets more attack rating as a result. You know, you got like most of your team are dead, and it's like, right, okay, well that's like what, 40% more attack rating damage. Like, hell yeah, please give me some of that. Shock and incinerate debuffs, 20% increased potency with having Mr. Fantastic, and Mr. Fantastic is a great pair up. You get crits when you do heavy attacks with having Nihilus and Diablo in the team. So there's a lot of fun stuff with this. It's so difficult to kind of separate Apocalypse and Dr. Doom, and that is why in the voting that it went like this, that it was 24 to Dr. Doom versus Apocalypse for 20. They both do different things for different rosters and different teams for different exploration, but I think like the main thing we can really say is that this was pretty fun. It's a pretty fun little vote. I appreciate everybody that came out to come to the community tab, and this is why these videos I like creating, because they have really decent community input. I can create some stuff my end. You can get your info in there, and we kind of put together this kind of nice little presented package, which then can help out other players, new players to the game, older players that may be kind of like undecided on stuff, like what are people interested in. But I think the main point we can come to agree on this particular voting is that players are interested in mainly the utility factors and damage elements that this top 5 presents. You've got damage potential and like huge damage when it comes to say like raw numbers, like non-debuff numbers with Hercules, with Cosmic Ghost Rider and Mole Man as well. But you also have the elements of high debuff damage, which you get with Apocalypse, you get with Human Torch, and to a lesser degree Black Widow Clairvoyant. Do bear in mind, Suicide Masteries will give you a different take on the extent of damage potential you have for a champion. But still, like, that's just it. Utility, damage, and the utility stretching into things like immunities, having options for power control, having options for taking down specific types of encountering certain things, and having great options. Like, this was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and all that stuff. Make sure as well to check out some other content, which will be, boom, on screen right now. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that will be. Have a lovely day, and yeah, cheers everybody. Bye-bye.